So today I'm finally trying to kill my opponent with flying lands. I've been wanting to do this since the Brothers War came out, as we got an amazing card that synergizes perfectly with the Dominaria United card in a super janky combo deck. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today it's a quick video where we're going all in on a janky combo made possible with a new green card. But before we get going, I want to say how appreciative I am with your support for this channel, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button below to not miss out on future videos. But onto this deck, and you might have guessed it, we're going to try and kill our opponents with Awaken the Woods. So Awaken the Woods is an X green spell that makes X 1/1 green land dryad creature tokens that can tap for mana but do come out with Summoning Sinners. I think this card is really great, and if anything is perfect just to ramp. Playing these into more of them on consecutive turns creates so much mana, but what do we want to do with all these land creatures? Well, we're going to play Tatyova, Steward of Tides and whack our opponent hopefully to death, as Tatyova says land creatures you control have flying, and whenever a land ETBs, if you control 7 or more, it becomes a 3/3 with haste. So playing Awaken the Woods with Tatyova on the battlefield creates an army of 3/3 flying lands that now have haste. This is basically our only way to win, as this is all in on this combo, so the rest of the deck is mainly tempo plays, card draw and ramp. I experimented with so many colour combinations and other land synergies, but I kept coming back to this, as it was the most consistent in getting our combo kill. So we are using Shigeki to hopefully ramp and return cards back to our hand from our graveyard, and we do have the turtle to create a loop if we do need to get to that point. You can channel it to return Shigeki from the grave, then channel Shigeki to return the turtle plus others. Card draw wise, we have Joint Explorations, we can also ramp Deluges and Silver Scrutinies. Sometimes we just have so much mana that this literally could draw an entire new hand, so these cards are great. We're using Fading Hopes, Negates, Syncopates and Shore Ups to protect our Tatyova, which is important as they can kill our Tatyova, maybe in an attack ambush, and we would lose flying from the creatures that we do have. Finally, we're using Consuming Tide. Basically, it returns all non-land permanents to their owner's hand, so this could be a kind of pseudo one-sided board wipe if we need it. We have 26 lands, and that's the combo deck. Like I said, I tried using many different synergies, Ren and 7, ramp creatures, Sultai, Bant, and even Slogurk, but I always ended up coming back to this Simic tempo version. So let me know if you have any deck lists with this particular combo as the centerpiece, as I'd love to try those out. Anyway, like I said, it's just a quick video today showcasing the combo, as I think it's fun to play and a different deck to what everyone's playing, so stay tuned to check out some games. Alright, on the draw here, and this is a pretty acceptable hand. 2 Fading Hopes is... can't really ask for much more. Opponent with a tapped Is-It mana, so probably some kind of spells deck. Unless they want to play a Swamp. No, just another Cliffs. Alright, so an Is-It deck. So this should be quite good. We should be okay. We can play the slower game here, and that's exactly what we want to do. So I'm not going to play Shigeki into this mana though. We have next turn our Shore Up available for Shigeki. Opponent considers, so maybe a Haughty Djinn deck. And see what they want to play. We do have Spell Room Painter. When you cast an instant sorcery, it gets +1/+1 to end a turn. So I'm guessing a prowess deck. Well, I don't want to pass the turn without doing anything, so we'll Fading Hope this back to their hand. And this is the tempo plays that we were going to need to play. Do we need the 4th mana? Yes. So we finally get our 4th mana, which is what we need really to play most of our spells in our hand, and we can start ramping away with the Awaken the Woods. But we'll play Shigeki here. We do have Shore Up available. See if they want to spend their mana trying to kill our Shigeki. And that they do. Lightning Strike. Well, I'm going to use the Shore Up on Shigeki as we have it available, and that's kind of used their whole turn. So we'll play out our land and we'll just pass. No attacks because we're going to use Shigeki to try and ramp us hopefully. So for a prowess deck, we have still been on 19 life is pretty nice. Storm Skrillex, okay. Flying and spells are cheaper. And we'll just Fading Hope that back to their hand, as that was a 5 mana spell they cast there. And yeah, we can use Shigeki, return it to our hand, and excellent, we find a land. And we even managed to mill over a Memory Deluge, so that's pretty nice. So we'll play our island, and yeah, we'll just keep using Shigeki. And yeah, maybe they are inclined to play that creature again, which is fine. And we do get to 2 Silver Scrutiny for 2 as well, if we want to. Yeah, so being on 19 life against a Is It deck is nice. They do find a Thirst for Discovery to draw some cards. We're just looking for a Tatyova here to try and close out this game a little bit. And opponent follows up with a Festival Crusher. Okay. I certainly know what that does because I've made a couple of sort of combo decks with that card. But we'll draw 2 with the Silver Scrutiny. We find a Joint Exploration and a Deluge. Okay, so I think we could have done with some kind of Fading Hope there, so I'm just going to main phase this Joint Exploration in case we find a creature, a Tatyova maybe that we want to play. There is a Fading Hope. Okay, so we can put the lands onto the battlefield and hold open our Deluge and Fading Hope here. We could even use Shigeki again, activate Shigeki to look at the top of our library, but I want to use the Deluge, I think. Shigeki's done a lot here to ramp us into our spells, and we want to get the Awaken the Woods down as well. Just trying to find Tatyova right now. Okay, so there's an Abrade on our Shigeki. I'm going to let that go. I don't think the opponent can kill us now, and if they do, we have the Fading Hope, so we can always use that on the Festival Crusher. And a Thirst for Discovery. Okay, so the Crusher is now a 5-3. I don't want to take too much damage if I can help it, so we'll let them do what they want to do. We'll let them go to attacks, and we'll just put this back into their hand. And yeah, stay on 19 life. Another Memory Deluge. Probably not what we need right now. Although I do like the card, I am worried that they're going to go off with these Festival Crashers if we're not careful. And, okay, Syncopate, Negate, Awaken the Woods. I mean, we can just ramp and ramp and ramp if we want to, but I went for the Negate just to ensure that if we do find Tatyova, we can protect it. So just counting out the mana here. I'm going to cast Awaken Woods for 5, or X is 5, to hold open Negate mana. I don't think doing it for 7 would make too much difference. And I don't want to be completely unprotected because I have no idea what the opponent could play. They could play a big spell that could just literally take over the board. So, no rush for us. We're still 19 life. We're just looking for our Tatyova. Next turn we're going to be able to Deluge twice. So we've got 14 mana, I think. Yep. Opponent with the Skrillex. And the Crusher comes back down. Okay. We just draw a land. Unfortunate though. I'm going to just pass the turn. And we'll crack these Memory Deluges, I think. Arcane Bombardment. Alright, well, that's an easy negate. But we'll Deluge first. Give ourselves some more information. I don't know the way it tapped. It tapped. I kind of should have manually tapped some of my creatures because I wanted to hold open more blue mana. But so be it. I learned my mistake from here to manually tap, but we'll negate the Arcane Bombardment, and yeah, we found the Tatyova. So it is going to be unprotected, but so be it. Opponent gets in there with a 2/4 flyer, can't do anything about that. And I'm kind of glad that they attacked with the flying creature. Consuming Tide's nice, we could return everything back to their hands. Just counting up my mana here to see if we can, how much we can do our Awaken the Woods and Tatyova for on the same turn. So we'll drop Tatyova first. We get to play Awaken the Woods. Well, we get to play the island first. That creates a 3/3. Okay, well, Lightning Strike on our Tatyova. So, as kind of predicted, they did have a removal spell. I did forget at this point that the Skrillex reduced the price of instants, so the Lightning Strike did take me by surprise a little bit. But we do have Deluge available, and luckily we managed to find a shore up in amongst all that. And yeah, there's Awaken there, there's Syncopate. I went with Syncopate. They've already shown me they're playing Uncaged Bombardment, so I just want to make sure that we can counter something that they do. And yeah, we get to play our Shore Up on the Tatyova. So it kind of slows our turn down a little bit, as we did tap our creatures to do that. I really didn't think that they had a Lightning Strike in their hand, and if they did, I really didn't think that they could cast it. The Skrillex is not a card you see often. So just going to attack with the 3/3, and yeah, just going to have to wait to kill them next turn if we can. So I could have Consuming Tided there if I wanted to, and that would have bounced their creatures. Well, I think you get to save one of your creatures, so here comes the Painter, and as long as they don't have removal for our Tatyova, we should be in a decent position. We do have Syncopate, which we can Syncopate for 3 at the moment. Fading Hope our Island. Okay. Sure. I don't think it really matters too much, but the island was tapped. I don't know if they can kill us now, but they could have Syncopate. They could have. Oh, it's a Rending Flame that they had saved up, ready for the Tatyova. Well, luckily we have our Syncopate available, and just enough mana for us to be able to Syncopate that. So opponent can attack us for quite a bunch. If they had Fading Hoped our Tatyova, I think we would have died. Or no, we would have gone down to 2 maybe. But anyway, this is what we're here to do. We get to drop our island, make a 3/3, and finally they're out of cards. So we're just going to hit them with the Awaken the Woods. And yeah, X equals 13. Gone for as much as possible. Now, I don't really like the UI here. It starts out okay, and then goes a little bit crazy. So I think I missed one of the tokens, but we have them dead. And I'm really happy that they haven't scooped and they're making us see the combo in action. Yeah, so the creatures kind of flip down here, and I'm not really sure which one I missed, but I know I've got lethal, so I just go for the same one, I think, twice. So a whole army of 3/3s, and opponent nices us. And yeah, we managed to attack with everybody, and that's the combo. Sweet. Alright, on the play. It's an okay hand. We have our Tatyova, we have our Awaken the Woods, and yeah, we can't really ask much more of that. So we'll play an island. We'll make them think that we're playing maybe a Haughty Djinn deck. And they play a Plains. Okay, well, nothing much for us to do this turn. So we'll drop a forest and say go. Got the Joint Exploration. I mean, we could cast it next turn for a kicker, but I might draw something that I want to cast next turn anyway, so I am going to play Joint Exploration. If anything, it gets to scry 2 as a Tatyova and a Shore Up. Don't want either of those. We've got both of those in our hand. And we find a Negate. So really want some land. I think that's our main problem right now. We'll play our island first. We'll drop Shigeki. We do have Shore Up available. I don't really want to use that on our Shigeki, but right now our Shigeki is the key that we need to get into some mana, specifically some green mana. Opponent plays Wedding Announcement. Okay, I'm fine with that. If this is one of those sort of tokeny decks, that's okay with me. And Fading Hope's nice. So we'll just pass our turn here, and we can block with Shigeki, and then we can return it to our hand and hopefully ramp with it. Okay, opponent looks like they're on mono white. They're looking at our Shigeki here. Just another Wedding Announcement trigger as they pass their turn. So we'll return this to our hand. We're going to grab a forest. Okay, opponent has something. 4 white mana. Okay, they're casting the Wandering Emperor. I'm sure that they thought we had a counter spell. So, and we do. We have Negate. That's fine. Wandering Emperor's fine. At least it's not able to exile any of our creatures. So we can play around the Wandering Emperor a little bit. But at the end of the day, we managed to ramp our way into 5 mana, which is what we want. So right now, I'm going to do something that I've done a few times, which is just play Awaken the Woods. And I'm going to play it for 3. There's an outside possibility they have a depopulate, but they would lose their board as well. But this gives us the maximum opportunity over the next couple of turns to win the game. It's all well and good us just ramping and surviving. We do have to try and win, and we win by getting Tatyova down and getting 20 damage onto our opponent, which is generally 7 of our creatures. So they're getting in with their 3/3. I guess they could have attacked with everybody. I wouldn't have blocked. Maybe they just wanted to create another 2/2 because they've got quite a hefty board now. So I'm pretty comfortable that they might not be playing Depopulate, but you never know. So we'll drop Tatyova here. Should have played our land after Tatyova. That would have created a 3/3, an extra 3/3. But so be it. It's fine. We'll attack down the Wandering Emperor here. Lucky we have 3 power in the air, so gonna kill the Wandering Emperor as it's gonna create too much value over time, and I really don't want it gaining life. I think that's gonna be the big problem for us. So we'll kill this. They still have 5 mana open though. Okay, they just let the damage go through. Sure. So we could have always played the another Awaken the Woods then. We would have created a whole ton of creatures, but we're trying to play a little bit more resilient, a bit more slow. Opponent with a follow-up Wandering Emperor, but we have a Negate in our hand, so that's nice. So it's 2 Wandering Emperors down. And a Bankbuster. Okay, that's fine by me. Now we're going to try and win next turn. We have Awaken the Woods, we have a bunch of mana already. So as long as we don't die now, I'm okay. Opponent does have 3 open mana though, so I'm a bit concerned about what they might have in their hand. So they're attacking us for a bunch here, attacking us for 10. Yeah, I could Fading Hope this 4/4, but I'm really concerned that will leave the Tatyova sort of vulnerable to any removal they might have. So I took 4 damage instead, and I'm going to Fading Hope now, because I feel like they would have removed our creature, but this does put us shields down just during the end step. Opponent has the Bankbuster there. That's what's holding priority, and yeah, we got away with it. We may have taken 4 extra damage if we needed to. We're playing safe, and we can play our Awaken the Woods here for... so we can play our land first. That will create a 3/3. And we can play our Awaken the Woods for X = 6. And that holds open a blue mana available for Shore Up in case they do have a removal in their hand. So X = 6. Yeah, and that keeps our Shore Up available. And this should just be enough damage to get through, as long as we do our targeting right. So we target each one individually. Again, I don't really like how this UI works. Well, clearly we just want to target each one, but fair enough. And also kudos for our opponent for sticking around as well. 24 damage here. And a Shore Up available in case the opponent has any shenanigans. So another nice little combo kill here. But we had to work for this one. Alright, on the play here. And I mean, the hand's okay. Is quite slow. Maybe the turtle can keep us in it, but on the play, I don't think there's much more we can do than keep this. I don't want to go down too many cards. We'll just drop our island on turn 1, and yeah, just pass the turn and say go. Opponent with a mountain, and Kumano. Alright, so it's got to be mono red. Our hand's pretty slow, so this is going to be interesting. Maybe you're going to use one of these Tatyovas as a bit of like a sacrificial lamb, get it onto the battlefield, and hopefully maybe distract them a little bit whilst we continue to find our land drops. Going to use the turtle here to put this Phoenix Chick back in their hand. It came out with a counter, so slight little tempo play there, but they still get to hit us with this Ronin for 2/2 as a 2/2. Goes back to their hand, and we draw an Otawara, which is nice. So that's double blue now, so we get to Scrutiny or even Consuming Tide if we absolutely need to. But get Tatyova down onto the battlefield. Yeah, opponent has Lightning Strike, so that's down immediately. But again, 3 damage not to our face. Opponent's going to hit us for 4 though. We go down to 13. And we find Awaken the Woods. Alright, so I don't think we're going to win the game unless we can maybe play our Tatyova first and then Awaken next turn. So we're just kind of hoping that the opponent doesn't have any way to remove Tatyova here. We could have done nothing that particular turn and Silver Scrutinied, but we're not going to win the game, I don't think, by doing that. I don't want to go down to a too low life total. So we are risking that they don't have a Lightning Strike. Reckless Impulse, okay. We find a land. Okay, and a Phoenix Chick. So, yeah, and another Phoenix Chick. Alright, so we swerved that. And we draw a land ourselves. Alright, so I'm just going to Awaken the Woods here and get some bodies on the board. They've already shown that they don't have removal in their hands. Otherwise, they definitely would have killed Tatyova. So we'll create a bunch of flying 3/3s. And not quite so much... Our opponent nices us. Not quite a game-winning turn here, as we could only do 12 damage. So we'll just attack with 3 and we'll just hold 2 back on defense against the Phoenix Chicks. Not that I'm going to necessarily block them. Opponent good games us and scoops it up. Quick win there against mono red. Right, on the draw, it's an okay hand. I think we can do slightly better, so we'll mulligan, even though this could be a big regret. Absolutely not. 2 Fading Hopes and then the Tatyova Awaken the Woods combo, so really glad we mulligan there. Opponent with a mountain. Yeah, and this validates the mulligan decision because we stood no chance with that previous hand. At least we stay alive with this hand. So yeah, Kumano, we have Fading Hope for whatever they want to play. It is Riveteer's Requisitioner, so when this dies they get a treasure. Well, it's a 4/2 that we get to put back in their hand, so the slight value they got from the Kumano there has been has gone really. But they do get a Kumano onto the battlefield, and it's definitely something that I don't want to Fading Hope. We did find a 3rd mana, which is nice. So we need a protection spell, maybe some card draw. And it's Reckless Impulse. Yeah, so I don't want to put this Etching back in their hand. And it's an Epicure. Another card I don't really want to put it back in their hand. Okay. So both their creatures have pretty decent ETBs. So we'll just have to decide what we're going to do here. I really don't want to put this Etching back in their hand, but I could see bouncing the Epicure. Pass the turn anyway, and we find a Shore Up. Alright, so we're actually in a really decent position. We just want to hit our land drops over the next couple of turns, and we'll use our Fading Hopes to stay alive. Then we can play Tatyova, hold up Shore Up, and then we can Awaken the Woods to hopefully kill the opponent. So I think we're about 2 or 3 lands from winning this one. But opponent does have 4 red mana open. It's scary. And it's Daybreak Combatants. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 to end a turn. Okay. And it's got haste. Alright, so another ETB creature. Another one I don't really want to put in their hand. Gonna have to do something though. So we'll get rid of the Epicure for the moment. I think it has the least impact when it comes down, although it does create a blood token. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the right thing, but there's our land on top. But yeah, don't want to put this Daybreak back into their hands. I'm going to take 4 damage here. So next turn, I'm going to be playing the Tatyova and holding open one of our blue spells. Because what I've noticed with this deck is it's all well and good waiting and waiting and waiting, but at some point you need to try and win. And it does kind of win out of nowhere. So we'll play, like I said, Tatyova. Opponent has Defiler of Instinct. It's going to be able to start pinging us. Got to be a little bit careful here with blocks, so we don't want it to be pinged. So we'll just block the 3/3. They don't have any open mana, so we'll Fading Hope this Defiler. Yeah, we'll go down to 7. We find a land. All right. Okay, so we can only do this really for 2 to hold open the Shore Up, unless we could win the game. So we'll do that. Create a couple of 3/3. So we could do 9 damage now if we wanted. Going to attack with just the 3/3s. I think maybe I should have attacked with Tatyova there instead. They're inclined to kill Tatyova, and then that would leave us pretty open to them attacking us. But like I said, we've got Shore Up, so fingers crossed we can survive this turn and then find a way to try and kill them. So we can do 9 damage to them next turn. If we find a land, we can do 12. So maybe we should have attacked with Tatyova last turn as well, so that at least we were presenting lethal. But the Defiler could kill us, I guess, if we're not careful. So we'll block the 1/1. And now if they want to target our Tatyova, we'll fire off Shore Up. My theory is that they're going to use the Defiler first, and then they're going to play a spell as a follow-up. But they don't. They use the Twin Shot Sniper to do 2 damage to any target. So they're going to do 2 much damage to Tatyova. Yeah, they could have pinged our face if we wanted, so... Oh, and they had to play with fire anyway. All right. So we've kind of been a little bit outplayed there. And then we drew a land off the top. So I don't know if we could have won this game had we ordered some of our turn better. But killing our Tatyova is going to mean that we're going to have to basically chump block with these 2 3/3s. Here comes a Defiler. And opponent goes to attacks. I just think we need to chump block with both, or just attempt to kill both their creatures. I can't see us getting out of this game, but let's fingers crossed they don't have a way to kill both of our 3/3s here. Reveteers, Requisition. Alright, so that's going to do 1 damage to any target. But it's just a Shore Up. Alright, fair enough. Don't think we can win here, but we'll just pass the turn, and we guess we can hold open Shore Up. And on the off chance that they don't kill us, I guess we may be able to find a Awaken the Woods next turn to stabilize. It would be a tall order. They got 2 blood tokens. Even if they've just got a land in their hand, they can find a way to do some damage to us. The Defiler has First Strike, so I can't kill that. So we'll kill the Requisitioner. Take the First Strike damage first. Yeah, and we'll just Shore Up our 3/3 to make it a 4/4. So we can kill the Requisitioner. And pretty much any red spell they play is going to kill us now. And they have a couple of ways to go into it with the blood tokens. And it's an Epicure. Fair enough. They kill us a couple of different ways. So we were really close throughout that game, but they just had too much at the end. So thanks for watching. I'm glad I got the combo, and I did find it easier than I first thought. I like to think of the Awaken the Woods as a straight up ramp card first, then a combo piece second. It basically doubles your mana when you cast it, and I just can't wait to explore more ways to play this card. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe for future content, and let me know if you have any other combos from the Brothers War that I should try out.